Now, one thing is missing, and if we go just shortly back to this, we want to document this. And this documentation is as we state, one click away. So this is actually already done. I didn't do anything, and we have it. So let's see what it is here. It is just in the 18-minute we created data warehouse with documentation. This one has 7 pages. It tell us which cubes are available, some information about the data warehouse and analysis services. Then if you go to the next page, setup information, what is the source, which companies have been used, some setup, how many tables we have been using, 21 tables, 152 columns has been used in this project. And then the cube analysis, sales analysis. You see the format is not so bad. Actually, I mean, it's nice. It tells us that we have one data warehouse measure group, no extended measure groups, 2 measures, 1 extended measure, this was the count of 1, and 19 extended measures year on year, last periods and so on, with 5 dimensions. So this is information that all dimensions are available in this fact, because we could have more facts, and definition on. Definition for these dimensions are here, and what we have at the end is a top table report, how many items, rows we have, and top 30 stored procedures by execution time. The longest one is just about 1 second. Now, you can say, okay, this is a simple project and it is nice, but the point here is that we have built the full data warehouse as we understand the data warehouse that we have been building over the years. Now the same data warehouse that we have been selling and all the content of this data warehouse you can see here on the web. So these are the application areas that have been previously offered as a standard edition, which means the code has been developed manually. Now the same solution is available, the same content is available in data warehouse edition, which means everything has been generated with scripts, which means that also everything can be changed with 1 click. So we have 250 measures in sales. You can check later the facts, some activities in the receivable, finance, 5 facts in the inventory, purchase, payables, 10 facts in the retail with 500 measures, manufacturing or production projects, fixed asset and product information. And all these cubes are here. And if I would like to edit any of these functionalities, any object, it is just as I have demonstrated before when creating a simple cube, it is 1 click away. The truth is that things get a little more complex, which means there are more tables available, more fields that are contributing. You see, let's have a look into this. You see a retail cube. We have 10 facts. Sales analysis is also very rich. And all these objects have created a data warehouse based on the scripts that are waiting for us to be changed at any time. So the scripts are open here. You can see the script. The scripts are a little longer, but yeah, the functionality is richer, so that is the reason for that. We didn't touch the script. This was all automatically done here. Now, if you look into also one example of one customer dimension, previously it was a simple one. If I would like to extend the functionality of the customer, and customer dimension is a rich dimension. It has, I think, about 30 fields in our cube. You see, these are the tables that are contributing some information to customer dimension. It's not so simple. It's a lot of detailed work that we have done. And if you don't like any field, want to add anything, as explained, we are just one click away. What we have to explain also is that we can not only use only the data that are coming from AX, but we can look into the data and integrate the data also from external sources. So this is exactly the case that I want to show you right now. And this sales adventure work is actually not a part of the AX. This one is created just normally. You don't really see it from here if you haven't been designing it, but actually this fact has been created from external tables, actually from the Microsoft demo database AdventureWorks. So we are not going to source information from the AX, but we are going to look this information in tables that are in the sales schema. How these tables appear here? Now the reason for these tables to be here is data tools, and I will just open the AdventureWorks project that I have created. And believe me, I have spent maybe about 10 minutes. So what I have done is, let me just show you here. In one of the servers, I have a database, AdventureWorks, and AdventureWorks has different tables. And what I selected with Visual Studio Data Tools are the tables here that are described with the sales schema. So this is it. The package was created very fast. I didn't do anything. The tables are small, 100,000 rows are the maximum. So once you create this with the wizard, import-export wizard, with the data tool, and this is not a part of the BFO Dynamics, but it's a Microsoft tool. It's a free tool. It's the best ETL integration tool that you can use for corporation. There are some tools that do more, but more than enough, absolutely, for any integration you will be achieving with the data tool from Microsoft. And once this package is created, we are just embedding this package inside of the BFO Dynamics process flow. And when we run it, the BFO Dynamics will recognize that these are the tables available for us, and the modeling is just the same. We have to select the tables, select the fields, and select the right names. And we can write code if you want, or just keep it simple and deploy and process. So what is the end result? Let's have a look into this here. The end result is a pivot table. Now this is connected to the sales cube. As you see, these facts are all standard facts, going from quote, opportunity to order, invoice information, forecast, and delivery analysis. These are the facts which have 250 measures, and these are specifics. We brought the date. The date is here, right? And if you look, what else do we have as dimensions? We have selected customer account, or customer territory, or country. See, it's all is there. If you want to integrate data together, if we look into the invoice information, now depending on the project, let's say that this is a live system where we can get data from external system, and this is coming from AX, or this can be historical data legacy system, and we would import these ones. In every case, what we have done here is just another measure, which is net sales information from AX, which is this one here, as you see, and from our customized fact from outside of AX, and this works very fine. The data will be meaningful for analysis where the same dimension is available in both facts. So in our case, date is 1. But if I would grab a customer, and if it's not the same table, if we didn't take care about the mapping, then definitely it would work only with the fact that is originally connected to that dimension. But you see, you can expand the functionality of our data warehouse automation tool to any other source that is supported by SSIS engine, which is practically anything that is around here. If we want to look into the documentation in this scenario, now this will take a little more time because in our model, the whole model keeps actually a few millions rows. Not all the rows are full. Don't understand me wrong, but that's quite a big model behind there. So it takes about 30-35 seconds to crunch all this information and to create the latest version of documentation that is based on the model that we have been working on creating just right now. So what will be interesting, you will see the complexity, and again, in a very nicely friendly formatted document. Let's just have a few seconds to wait. Okay, I will release some memory. Okay. I cannot work anything until this window will be closed because this is taking the attention of the tool. As long as the tool is working, we can't do anything else. Good. So we are in the 29th minute where we came to this document. And what do we have now here? We have more cubes. There are 10 or 11 cubes that we have see here. Information about the project. Just that the system is a little more crowded. You see, the cubes here are there. So now you may a little better understand the information, what we have been doing in inventory cube. Then going down, this crossroad is interesting because it explains nicely in a visual format which dimension is working with which measure group, because automatically measure group represents the measures, right? And some of these are having a lot of information. And here you might see our sales cube keeps information also about the adventure works. See, this is our fact. Not a lot of data here, but as a proof of concept, this can be confirmed. You see, these are the measures that we have selected, and the detailed description also about the dimensions. See, customer dimension, and this is the definition. Maybe it's a technical one. Sometimes it's enough just to know the list is there, where it is coming from. Maybe it's more important that you understand how some formula have been built. This is where you will find explanation for each measure group. Here, you see, there are formulas for each and every measure. And at the end, also top table report. This is like a birthday, which tables have been contributing our information and procedures that have been executing. This is good because you can deposit or save this document every time in a while, and you keep this as an archive. It's a PDF format, and it gives you key information about the product. This is a product documentation, a very nice product documentation with 110 pages. Now, we have seen the simplicity. If we go back into the our web page, we have seen that warehouse in action, and what we have seen the modeling. We have seen how easy it is, this modeling, 5-step process. We have seen the documentation, we have to see the two very, very important things. So the engine of BI for Dynamics modeling or data warehouse tool is metadata. So I'll show you how this is designed, and we'll have a look into the how the scripts that we have generated can be further extended with the manual code. Now, what we have here, first thing, let's have a look into metadata. And if we look into the AOT, this is what we have here in AOT. And this is sales line, right? And this sales line has relations, and these relations, one of these relations is sales table. And this is exactly the relation that was proposed when we selected sales line in relation to sales table, right? The same way it works for everything else. So if we have a look into one example for enums, if you look for something with check status, see, these are the option fields here, and this is the enum ID 41. Okay, let's have a look into the SQL query, where we'll create a new query. Not here, just close this part here, not here either, but in this database, what we will do is we'll do like select star from metadata AX enums, where enum ID, I know it's like 41, and I have to limit the profile to 3, which is just US translation. Voila. So you see, I have this information from AOT transferred into BI for Dynamics data warehouse, and this is later used as a template when we are creating enums in our case. That's why such dimensions are created very fast. But this is just a very simplified example of modeling and data modeling. Yeah, in the second thing is that we have always option to move to add functionality with data warehouse. So let me go and see what we can do. We'll use one dimension. We call this a riddle channel. Creatable view load one, and just go here. So this is a view, and yeah, correct. And what do we have here? So in BI for Dynamics, there are, when the script generated, it's not just an ordinary SQL script, but the script has with sections. As SQL is structured, you don't really see all the options, but those options that we use in our scripts are very structured, because at the beginning and at the end of every section, we say, look, this is the begin section of the view select part, and this is the end part. And here, this is the area where data warehouse automation tool will insert all the scripts he needs. The same for from section, and actually this is a join section, we call it. And below there would be any where condition, in this case, or not. So outside of the placeholders, you can write any script you want. Any script you want, and every time the script will be here, it must be consistent, it must be the correct SQL statement, it will be kept. So what are we having here? Why would you first write a script? Because for sure, BI for Dynamics cannot support all the options that SQL has. And it doesn't make sense to make too complex. It would be taking too much time to develop all the features which we never could. So it's better to integrate the manual code into our data warehouse automatically generated code. So here you have select, 3 times select. Actually, what this is doing is giving the first location and longitude and latitude for the first address of the store. So script is not a complex one, but we could not do this with Wizard. The second part, if you look what is this here, stores have by default store areas, and these areas can be picked up either directly from a channel table, or you have to go into another table, a section table, and this section table is a loop within the store, and we do the group by to get this information. So this is the right way to do, in the easiest way also to write a code. All the fields are later used in Wizard, so you don't have to do anything else outside of this script. So if I would go and if I want to change this script, let me just show you this part. It's very interesting. And I'll go and to look into the channel of this here. And let's just click one field, nothing else. We will not deploy and process. We will not use a lot of features, just one click. You see, there are 3 tables contributing information to our channel table. And we have seen the manual script. Now let's say we want to add another information. I think something on it is like web store or something. It's not something on the name. I'll just hit the first one. Let's say, is it the event type, whatever it is, right? And we'll click, let's add another enum here, will be like manual, and we can take it from any field we want. So 170 fields are available for select them. Okay, let's just do it. Generate. So I don't go into the details what I have actually done. What is important is this one. This is before, and when I click, the script will be updated because the Management Studio knows this, right? Voila. So somewhere here up, additional scripts have been added, like this one, manual, type, and maybe something else. But this part of the script has been untouchable. This is very important. Writing script and keeping the script is super simple, super powerful. So this is the last leg of the feature that I want to show you, this modeling on metadata and 100% open and editable for further customization. So we have data warehouse that is as flexible as Power BI, and I'm sure that for modeling information within the Microsoft Dynamics, where we have 7,000 tables, a lot of data, our data warehouse automation tool performs outstandingly well compared to any other tool on the market when it comes to Microsoft Dynamics.